Hi everyone, greetings from National Skills Network. This is Madhuri and today I'm in conversation with Mr. Sajeev Kumar, who's from SAHI by LaborNet. Hi Sanjeev, welcome to this conversation that we have planned with you today on a very important topic that concerns most of the small and medium businesses in India, and that has to do with apprenticeships. So Sanjeev, I think apprenticeship, one of the hottest things that everybody is discussing. I'm sure many would want to know what are the advantages, why should one really engage apprentices? So there are some very important points like this, which we feel from National Skills Network, we should be able to educate people, tell them the positive side of apprenticeship, the changes that are coming in from the government to simplify the regime of apprenticeship, and what are the benefits if a small or a medium business engages apprentices, and what are the industry sectors. So there are a whole lot of issues. And for our audience, Sanjeev has been working in the field of training and deploying skilled workforce in manufacturing and other industry sectors. So he comes with a vast experience in the apprenticeship area. And today we thought, why not catch up with him and know a few important things about apprenticeships, and also in the context of National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme from the Government of India. So Sanjeev, first and most important thing I would like to know is why is this model of training through apprenticeship very crucial for the small and medium businesses in India?
Absolutely, Madhuri. If you look at ever since the introduction of the NAPS, which is the National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme, SMEs from all sectors are exploring the opportunity to build capacity by attracting young talent. If you look at, unlike past, employers now have the freedom to design on-the-job training curriculum based on specific requirement through optional trades as well.
Okay.
So what has happened is eventually this has motivated more SMEs to provide training to candidates who aspire to undergo a skill-based training. And not only that, moreover, there's also a financial incentive, which is also one of the reasons which prompts most of the employers to provide apprenticeship training to many candidates. So if we largely look at the kind of benefit, it looks at facilitating learning by earning, learning by doing, combining formal education with hands-on experience. I could also say that it rightly skills the youth and provides them an opportunity for self-growth as well as contribute to the country economy. And from an SME point, while recruiting an apprentice, it enables employers to fill gap within the workforce, because as apprentice, they begin to learn specific sector, specific skills from day one, and thus developing specialist knowledge that will positively affect the bottom line.
Yeah, that's true. And you raised very important points regarding work integrated learning, incentivizing the industry, and many things that are connected with the evolving apprenticeship ecosystem in India. So you also mentioned about capacity building. The way we look at it, Sanjeev, is that apprenticeship is something like a win-win for each stakeholder, right? Whether it is the student or whether it is somebody who's passed out of ITI and is looking for a job, he or she is not employed probably, or industry is looking for young people and want to train and retain them in the long run, right? So there are various stakeholders. Now, if you look at these stakeholders, and most importantly, the parents who have to be convinced and informed and educated about apprenticeships, how do we go ahead, with this, and then also look at, for example, let's say we pick up the example of manufacturing sector. So how do you see there is scope in manufacturing sector, and so many stakeholders are involved in this, right? So what are your views about this?
Definitely, if you look at the current situation, like micro, small and medium enterprise, you look at nearly 8% of the country GDP, of which 45% is for the manufacturing and manufacturing output, and primarily 40% towards the export. So this means they provide the largest share of employment after agriculture. So that means there is a large trend of employment opportunity in manufacturing segment as also aligned to the other e-com segment as well. However, if we look at the required skill set and the lack of readily available skilled and trained manforce are of a big concern to the industry right now. So if we look at the whole ecosystem as such, NAPS definitely helps in to get into a specialized skill through on-the-job training. There, from a parent perspective, there is also an opportunity for candidates to earn while they learn. So that means while they are on an apprentice program, there is also an opportunity for the particular candidate to earn while they learn. And in addition to that, they are also being endorsed with an industry cum government recognized certification. And finally, what does it mean to a particular employer is that it increases the confidence of deploying the trained and certified candidate on the shop floor, which gives a unique advantage to the employer at the end of the day.
Yeah, you just mentioned about the manufacturing sector and the advantages of NAPS particularly. So for our audience, I'm sure most of them know that National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme from the government is a highly incentivized scheme where all the stakeholders have a certain incentive there, to engage apprentices. And as you very rightly said, it also prepares our youth for earn while you learn kind of a model, which could be also not just an incentive, but there could be people who are genuinely, in need of earning while they learn. And all this sounds a bit new in India when people mostly believe in completing their education and then joining the workforce. But we are proposing a model and saying, look, you can earn while you learn. Let's look more from the industry point of view, Sanjeev, and see how, for example, there could be a lot of small and medium businesses who might be wondering, what is the benefit for me if I engage apprentices through NAPS? So can you please tell us in detail about what could be the benefits for small and medium businesses, particularly maybe from the manufacturing sector?
Definitely. So as we all know that NAPS is a scheme launched by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship to promote apprenticeship training, and thereby it creates a win-win situation for the employer as well as the candidate. It actually aids in creating a gainful employment in industry for the trained manpower as well as for a fresh candidate. So what happens is this NAPS entire program is being delivered at a client facility, and it is at a live manufacturing facility. Apprentice is being continuously monitored, feedback is being gathered. Post the successful completion of apprenticeship, the candidate is also supported within, or rather provided within, NAP certificate. And specifically, if you look at the advantage to an principal employer is primarily with cost saving. They have a better trained and skilled workforce. And also recruiting apprentice enables employer also to fill the gaps within the workforce. What happens in a generic traditional manufacturing firm is that, they kind of bring in helpers, they put them on the job, eventually they're trained for, 15, 20 days. And in the interim of a period of 1 to 2 months, there's a lot of attritions that is coming up. And eventually the trained workforce also moves out. But here, when an apprentice joins into an apprentice program, he's very clear that he's going to have an OJT at the live shop floor. And the apprentice also begins to learn sector-specific skills from day one, thereby developing him to become a specialist in the knowledge that will positively affect him at a bottom line. And thereby his career path is also closely tracked up to an eventual move forward model. So that enables both the manufacturing industry as well as the manufacturing industry in the sense for the principal employer, as well as for the associate who is joined as an apprentice to have a meaningful career path and progress.
Yeah, I think that's the reason we were saying it's win-win for both, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so now that there are incentives and there is a scheme, and also I think the ease of engaging apprentices is also very high with the portal, and lot of transparency built into the portal right from the government, which is making things easier for people to register from the employer side as well as from the candidate side, I guess. So besides all this, Sanjeev, one important point which everybody would want to know is in terms of what's in it for me. Okay, what is the ROI? Of course, you have explained things to us, but how does this model really work in terms of, let's say, tangible ROI and intangible ROI? So you already mentioned about making these people who are engaged as apprentices to continue in that particular company, but we also hear about cases where if they can't absorb these apprentices also have a chance to go into similar industries because they have already completed the apprenticeship training. So what kind of ROI is there for the companies who may be interested to engage apprentices?
Okay, so if we actually look at from a ROI perspective, recruiting, as I told earlier as well, recruiting apprentice enables employer to fill gaps within the workforce system. That is primary one. And the government is also incentivizing the employers in terms of, a basic return of pay of up to a maximum of 1,500 rupees. In addition to that, they also have the flexibility of choosing any particular job role. Thereby, they can actually begin to learn the sector-specific skills from day one. And in addition to that, from a compliance perspective, there is also a waiver that the particular employer need not pay ESIC or a PF to the apprentice in the initial days. And moreover, the particular job role can be designed in such a way that the duration of the job role can be deemed from a period of, say 1 to 6 months, or to a period up to a period of 2 to 3 years, depending on the nature of apprentice program that could be deployed. So when we look at formalizing the entire workforce, specifically trained skilled workforce deployment onto the shop floor, I think it definitely kind of brings in an kind of tangible involvement to the particular organization, which enables NAPS actually.
Yeah, so all this is in addition to enhancement of productivity, quality outcomes, efficiency of processes, and many things that happen when they hire people whom they are skilling, training, and then absorbing them in their own companies. So these are some of the important points about apprenticeship, which I think is something every manufacturing unit in the country should consider. And also I would like to inform our audience that in case you have any queries and you want to know more about NAPS implementation and anything to do with NAPS and apprenticeship engagement, you can get in touch with Sanjeev. We are going to share his mobile number and details in the description box in this video. So do write into us to know more. And thanks, Sanjeev. Is there anything else you wish to share with the audience?
In fact, so happy that we got onto this forum and we could discuss on the benefit of NAPS. I think this needs to be reached out to larger industries who are still not aware of this NAPS scheme, and thereby it helps in the nation building as well. And absolutely, as I end, it's all creating a future ready with trained professionals in the latest job role, and thereby it helps us to achieve higher productivity through improved performance.
Yeah, that's true. So on that note, thank you, Sanjeev, for being with us today. And thank you all for watching this, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon not to miss any updates. And get in touch with Sanjeev to know more about NAPS or anything to do with apprenticeships in India. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.